Hello, welcome, dear hearts. Come on in and enjoy a brief moment with me, Natasha, the owner and CEO of the Magical Blessings Healing Center. Thank you so very much for taking a brief moment out of your very busy day to go on an incredible journey with me. So grab your favorite beverage. Right now, mine's alkaline water. Snuggle on down and get comfy as we go on this magical journey. You'll find that in this particular blog, I am talking about autism. I was blessed not once, but twice over. I have been in the autism world, I would say a majority of my life, but definitely from a parental standpoint for about 27 years. Wow, time flies, it really does. And I was blessed twice with two boys on the autism spectrum with multiple disabilities. And they are not boys anymore. They're young men. They're on the adult world, but they also have developmental disabilities. So what is considered adult for someone with a developmental disability may not be adulting. I keep using quotation marks because, for example, my youngest is 19, yet emotionally he's about 9, maybe 9 years old, maybe 10 if we're lucky. But he has a higher cognitive, so his social emotional dysfunctional cognitive distortion is very low, maybe 8 to 10-ish. But his intellect is very high, which is very typical on the autism spectrum. So it's that variance of finding out, well, they don't fit into really any boxes. In this particular blog, I'm talking about how there's a testosterone dump within a lot of, typically developing males, adolescent males. The testosterone starts dumping in and they start to grow and they're developing, and it's tough stuff. Well, let's throw in the world of autism. So every time this happens, it's like they neurologically are like, yeah! It's like something happens and they kind of need a reset. And society doesn't necessarily understand this. Academics doesn't know, an academic educational setting doesn't necessarily understand this, which creates a lot of stress, which creates a lot of depression and anxiety. And that's a recipe for disaster. It just really is. And so now we have a really large growing amount of autism. I read in a study, I think it's 1 in 38 now. I don't have the exact statistics of where I read it. I just said I read it in a literary journal. And I also read in this literary journal that there's an approximation by the year of 2025 that we pretty much have more males that are on the autism spectrum. So, hello world, hello universe, we have to do things a little differently. These individuals do not learn in the same way on the same day as everyone else. And it's time for us to realize that the traditional academic setting is not necessarily working. There are some that can go in and they do a fabulous job. I'm a teacher and I'm a behavior specialist, along with being a master intuitive energy healer. So I've worked with students on the autistic spectrum that they do great in a traditional academic setting. They do fabulous. And then I've worked with those that nobody wants in their classroom. I'm going to tell you the straight up honest truth. They don't want them in their classroom. They are tough. They are difficult. I've had one teacher one day just like, can I just please daily bring him to you? Yes, please, actually, please do, because I would rather have him in my room where he's wanted and instead of another room where he is unwanted, and just provide his work for me. So basically that's what I'm talking about, is that they don't fit in the typical academic settings. And I have been dabbling here and dabbling there, and I've been, going about this for several years, many years actually. It's like, I can't even think of them. I think I'm getting 8 to 10 years, somewhere in that realm. And so it's not like it's brand new news to me. And so what I love to do with a student is, yes, they may have a behavior that society has deemed as totally unacceptable. And a lot of people will focus on the unacceptability. What I like to do is I want to focus on how to uplift and build them up so that they can be successful, so that I didn't raise my boys to be disabled. I raised them to be different abled. That they are going to look at things from a different perspective. They're going to think differently than others. And by golly, they need what is called processing time. They don't process in 3 seconds like the typical neurotypical individual. Many are 9 seconds. Means it takes literally 9 seconds. Click, click, click. Taking your stopwatch, go 9 seconds. It took them that long for them to go, oh, you said something to me? Oh, okay. Oh, oh, crud, I have to respond back. What am I going to respond back? What I really want to tell them is this, but then I'm going to get, so I'll just tell them this. Sometimes that can take up to 27 seconds. And by that time, you don't think that they're paying attention. They don't care. You have that people have this really wrong idea of what's really actually happening. So, I look at it from a different capacity in that. And that is one of the reasons why I have much more success when I'm working with students of developmental disabilities. Because it's not just autism. It's pretty much any developmental disability, an intellectual disability, cognitive distortions and so forth. And so basically, like I said, I like to go in and I like to uplift, help them understand that they are different abled and really identify their strengths and help them be uplifting and yay, let's go. So this is actually in this blog and in this vlog video is the first time I've stepped in front of a camera. I've written it down in a blog. I've had this conversation many times. I've had other people say, you need to do ... Or I would even say, hey, this needs to be available. This is the first time I am stepping out, stepping up and saying, okay, universe, you know why I have this in my heart. And I know that this needs to come forward. I have no idea how to make it happen. So here I am asking you to help me make it happen. Help me bring forth a virtual, because they're so techy. Most of our developmental individuals in our youth are extremely technological. And they also don't always deal well in society. However, this past academic school year, I had one of the most successful virtual academic online classrooms. It was just, oh my gosh, I can't even, I'm still bragging about them of how incredibly awesome these individuals were. And they were incredible. So I've been in the academic classrooms where I'm in, an actual classroom. I've been in the virtual world, and I am here to say, dear old universe, I'm here, I'm presenting it. How are you going to bring this forth to me? Bring it forward, please, as I am so ready. And if you have any questions of maybe, hey, how can I work better? Guide my child better, and if they're in a developmental or autism, I do have, if it's academic setting, maybe you want to have somebody look at your IEP. I can do that as well as a special education consultant. Maybe you have this moment where you're kind of concerned about a behavior as a behavior specialist. Absolutely, I can do that as well. Or you're looking like, hey, well, I have other questions, or you've heard that I've said, hey, I'm looking to make this virtual academic academy, and you know someone who, hey, wait a minute, I know somebody who knows somebody who, here we go. So that's why I'm bringing it forward in this way, hoping, crossing fingers, arms, and everything else, and saying, okay, here we go. You can find me, and I'll put it up in the video at magicalblessingshealingcenter.com. That is the name of my company. You go to the youth corner, and you will find there is a variety of options there, from the behavior specialist, special education consultant, maybe your child needs somebody who needs help, extra help in academics, or maybe you want to dabble in something, there is creative play for adults as well. So I'm going to end this as I always end my videos, and that is much love, much light, and magical, magical blessings each and every dear heart. Mwah! Goodbye.